Clinton, sorry.
Okay.
I can see why they gave you this question. I just wanted to know which of our previous presidents has inspired you most and why?
The student campaign was advertising it on campus, and so that they would give anyone rides who wanted to go.
And so you took a ride.
So I got a ride. On the way over there in the car, they asked me if I would ask the senator a question. I said, sure, I'd love to ask her a question. And when we got there, we were there a little bit early, they brought me to one of the senior staffers. And he asked me if there was any question I wanted to ask. And I kind of thought about it, and I said, yeah, can I ask how her energy plan compares to the other candidates' energy plans? And he said, well, I don't think that's a good idea because I don't know how familiar she is with their plans. And then he showed me in his binder, he had a piece of paper that had typed out questions on it, and the top one was planned specifically for a college student. It said, like, college student. When I asked him how it worked, he said, raise your hand. When she asks for questions, raise your hand, and she'll call on you.
Okay.
So, I don't know for sure that she knew in advance, but there were like 200 people there, and everyone was raising their hand. I was 1 out of 4. That doesn't seem random exactly. Mm. What they had typed out in the paper, it said, college student in brackets, and then the question was, as a young person, I'm concerned about the long-term effects of global warming. How does your plan combat climate change?
So looking back on this now, do you have a different opinion of her as the candidate?
It's possible that all campaigns do these kind of tactics. I don't know. But personally, I want to know that I have someone who's honest representing me. And I think the question and answer sessions, especially in Iowa, are really important. That's where the voters get to have like a real genuine conversation with this politician who could be representing them, and they get to voice their concerns. And something, when you're planning the questions in advance, that just takes that whole conversation out of it, takes the voter out of it.
Back to politics now for a minute. Also developing this evening, new questions about whether or not the Clinton campaign may be planting questions at her events. It all started this week at a town hall in Pennsylvania. A young girl asked Mrs. Clinton about body image and Donald Trump's treatment of women. The media was quick to highlight the story, but not so quick to report what could be key details about the person asking the question. Trace Gallagher picks up the story from there. Trace?
And Megan, the setup here is key. This was at a family town hall with a largely female crowd in a Philadelphia suburb of a major battleground state. Hillary Clinton was sitting between her daughter, Chelsea, and actress Elizabeth Banks. And the first question from 15-year-old Brennan Leach just happened to fit right into Hillary's latest narrative concerning Donald Trump's treatment of women. Watch.
I see with my own eyes the damage Donald Trump does when he talks about women and how they look. As the first female president, how would you undo some of that damage and help girls understand that they are so much more than just what they look like?
Oh, thank you.
The New York Times called the question, quote, the most potent, and went on to mention that 15-year-old Brennan Leach's dad, a state senator, helped her craft the question. But the Times left out that the dad is a Democratic state senator. In fact, Dalen Leach is the chair of the Senate Democratic Campaign Committee, who endorses Hillary Clinton and frequently posts anti-Trump messages. The Clinton campaign denies vetting the question, but it's certainly fair to ask, considering Hillary Clinton was caught planting questions during both her run for the Senate in '99 and her run for the White House in 2007. Megan.
Trace, thank you. Joining us now, Dana Lash, host of Dana on the Blaze TV, and Crystal Ball, a new Leaders Council senior fellow and Clinton supporter. Great to see you both. Dana,
great to see you, Megan.
Your thoughts on whether that was an organic moment or staged?
No.
And if it was staged, do we care?
It was completely staged. And if Hillary Clinton had any sense, this is Megan, her response would have been, I think your mom or women in your family can teach you to have enough self-esteem that you don't have to sit here and depend on what a presidential candidate says. It's incredibly ironic because when I was Brennan's age, when I was a 15-year-old girl, I was learning all about oral sex from Hillary Clinton's husband because that was all the headlines. So it's kind of ironic.
Dana, you know, the thing is, the reason it matters is because are we watching something real or are we watching theater? And if we're watching theater, then we should know that. You know, with all due respect to Steve Harvey, who I like, why it should have been disclosed that she had been given the questions in advance and helped craft them. And if this was and if she worked to get this question given to her, or her campaign did, then we should know. Is it theater? I mean, because when I'm watching, you know, A River Runs Through It, I know I'm watching drama.
Exactly. And how scary is Steve Harvey that you have to have a pre-interview done in reverse? I mean, he's the friendliest guy in America. How scary is he? If you can't handle Steve Harvey, you can't handle Vladimir Putin. It's completely orchestrated. It's total theater. Everything with the Clintons is complete theater. I can't tell if I'm watching politics or if I'm watching like a real-time reality television plus Broadway show. Everything is so contrived. There's nothing organic about it or about how she's going to